All right, big announcement time. Cards on the table. In the next week or so, I am going to be deciding whether or not I am becoming a full time content creator. So if you are in the position to show me some financial support, like this is the moment. This is decision time for me where I'm going to sit down with my boss and say, this is my situation. This is what's happening. So if you are in the position to support me via Patreon, via YouTube memberships, by doing a donation deck list, or in some other way, like setting me up with a sponsor or something like that, like this is the critical moment, and this is very exciting and also very scary for me. All right, I'm going to be showing this ad all week, and then we'll kind of resume to normal, just do 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 do, and then cutting straight to the deck tech. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today Christopher N wanted me to mess around with Toxic in Legacy. So quick kind of rules refresher or lesson. Toxic and Infect are a little bit different. So this creature has Toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get a poison counter. So unlike Infect, where if a creature has Infect, it just deals damage in the form of poison counters, and you can really make them shine by playing pump spells on them to make them take multiple damage at once. A creature that has Toxic 1, even if it has 99 power, is only giving you one poison counter. But we're not playing with this card because it has Toxic. We're playing with Venerated Rotpriest because of its triggered ability. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. So what we're going to do here is have one or multiple of these things in play, and then cast a storm spell. Let's use Ground Rift as an example here. This is just a 1 mana spell that has storm. The text here is basically irrelevant. For every time that we target Venerated Rotpriest with something, our poison is going to get a poison counter. And this can kill very quickly. A couple of rules notes here. Number one, this says whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell. So you control multiple of these, you're doubling up on those triggers. You control 3 of these, don't really need much of a storm count to kill, now do you? Um, Also of note here is we could just cast multiple ground rifts and kill our opponent very easily that way. This is going to be a deck that is going to be capable of turn 2 kills. I suppose in Magical Christmas Land we could get a turn 1, but it's pretty unlikely. Another neat sort of thing about this deck is that a lot of times we're not going to have to play this out until right before we play our Storm spell, so we can kind of mess around with priority a bit, right? Like just play our creature and then target it with Ground Rift immediately and not give our opponent like the best opportunities to use their removal spells. Notably though, like the Storm trigger does still have to go off in order for us to get all of our stuff. So that can be a problem. The list that I'm playing today is based loosely on Bryant Cook's deck list that he recently piloted to a 4-1 finish. We were talking about it before recording our most recent episode of the Eternal Glory podcast, and he said he was not a fan of the Green Sun package and that I should cut it. So his build originally had 4 Green Suns and 2 or 3 extra Green Sun targets other than Venerated Ropriest, and I cut those, adding in 2 more lands because one of them was replacing like a Tinderwall and one of them was replacing a Dryad Arbor. And the other thing that I added in was Preordain. Bryant essentially said that the Green Sun package was too slow for this deck list, and I wanted to make sure that I still had some amount of digging or tutoring for the Venerated Rotpriest. And we're going to see how it feels keeping some number of Green Suns in the deck, but not necessarily going and playing the full playset. That's just going to clunk up our hand or encourage us to get Dryad Arbor, which is not really something that we want to be doing in this deck list, because Dryad Arbor is not making critical colors that we need. So generally speaking, the game plan is get Venerated Rotpriest, cast a couple of spells, question mark, question mark, question mark, our opponent is dead. I'm running, I believe, 12 of Bryant's 15 sideboard slots. I am going to be trying out Defense Grid rather than the Xantid Swarms that he had. Just kind of conceptually looking at this deck list, it feels a little bit soft to things like Source of Plowshares and Solitude, and Defense Grid just making it so that I'm never getting interrupted by those cards, at least not easily. Sounds really good to me. All right, so let's see if this is the newest toxic deck to hit Legacy. Do you see what because it's toxic? You know what? Never mind. All right, if you're new here and you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And if you are a regular, throw me a like before this video begins. It is the easiest way to support my content for free. This deck is very much still in the brewing stage, so like really, if you have ideas about this one, please hit me up in the comments. I would love to read them. All right, I'm going to keep my opening hand here. I have a Venerated Rotpriest, which is going to be the card that I always need to be getting, and I have the ability to get a second one. We're going to start out on Preordain. I know that I'm looking for a Storm spell. Petals aren't like awful here, but I like 100% know that I need a Storm spell. I'm just going to start looking for one. Tropical Island on the other side of the battlefield. Into a Noble Hierarch, probably some sort of like Bant or Bant adjacent deck list. Veil becomes more interesting in that case. Playing out Venerated Ropriests and passing the turn is less appealing. This feels like a shuffle to me. Okay, there is a Grapeshot. Do I want to feed a Venerated Ropriest to a removal spell here? Not really. Go ahead and pass the turn and assume that I'm playing this game pretty slow. Now that I have my Storm spell, things like Lotus Petals are going to become more... Oh! Abort mission. We need to go faster. This is like some tattoo art promo. Alright, I very much could die next turn. I'm thinking about whether I want to fetch and Veil of Summer to just draw a card. I don't think I do. I don't really have to worry about removal so much here, though. Am I gonna have to do like a really sad Grapeshot? Might have to do like a really sad Grapeshot. Alright, definitely put back a land here. I can probably put back the second Veil of Summer. And Green Sun for another Rot Priest. Play Rot Priest. I think this turn is not a turn where I'm trying to win, but this is a turn where I'm trying not to lose. Unfortunate, that's not where I want to be. Be blue-green. I want to go ahead and just Grapeshot here. My goal is to kill both of these creatures. Ooh. I'll fail in that goal. I'll get to kill the Noble Hierarch. Very much not what I wanted. I'm going to pass the turn and somewhat likely just die. Pendelhaven is not great for me. That's just free infect. Okay, sure. Alright, let's see how bad this is. My opponent did need to burn one spell last turn to protect their threat. So they may not kind of be going for a kill right now. That is a lot of Venerated Rotpriest. Holy shit. Okay. How many of these do I play out? Probably one off of Green Sun. That still leaves me with a respectable amount of Storm in hand. I can't really block well against this. So my goal next turn is to, like, draw a cantrip or a Ground Rift or something and then get a kill. Maybe I was incorrect in trying to, like, actually address my opponent's creatures. I'm not going to block. Just, like, doesn't line up well versus Pendelhaven. I might die because of that decision, but I think that's okay. Alright. Not great for me. Kicked Vines of the Vastwood. You and permanents you control gain hexproof. Can't mess around with my opponent's permanents with that. Alright, that is what it is. So my opponent did not have trample, so I could have blocked here and gotten another turn. Top of the deck, not looking kind. They're 3 turns away. I think my opponent's deck is going to be faster than mine on average. Can't really pay for Slaughter Pact easily. I can play Defense Grid to stop my opponent's counterspells. I don't really know that I want to do that. I've got Veil of Summer already. And Veil of Summer is better to contribute to Storm Count. Okay, this hand's a keep. I haven't done the math, but I just assume this kills on turn 2. It looks like it kills on turn 2. So we're going to go play a Rotpriest and pass. See what my opponent can do. Really awkward if they play a creature because like I want to attack in with this to get an extra poison counter, but I don't necessarily want to die to some other stuff. Yeah, this looks like this is gonna kill. Make a land drop, cast a Manamorphose, make green red, draw a card. Storm is 1, Storm is 2, Storm is 3. Get a Rotpriest and an Elvish Spirit Guide. Storm will be 4. That's like Storm is 4. Yeah, that's lethal. Alright, Rotpriest. Cast Rotpriest. Cast Summoner's Pact. Get Spirit Guide. Cast Grapeshot. Use target opponent. Use target opponent. Heyo. Same targets. Nice. Save targets. Always yield. So there's 8 of those. 9 and 10. Okay, that's a turn 2 kill. That's the sort of thing that I want to do here. Oh yeah, let's run that back. That felt good. Turn 1, Rotpriest. Turn 2, play a decent amount of stuff. This hand's probably a keep. I don't know that this is going to just immediately kill. I also don't know if I play anything if my opponent just like plays a land and passes. Ooh. Double Storm Spell is pretty hot for turn 2. I probably need to play out this Lotus Petal though, so that I don't get dazed here. Because daze is kind of a big deal. Alright, it's in play. I could just Ground Rift for a couple of poison counters here, and then intend on finishing with Grapeshot later. I don't honestly hate it. I guess I just do the same thing next turn, though, most of the time. Minus, like, Dismember happening. Alright, that's fine. Alright, a new land drop from the opponent. I assume this is going to be a Blighted Agent based on play patterns so far. Ponder is fine. I'm going to lead on Fetch and Manamorphose. Probably red-blue here. A little awkward. Hey, Manamorphose. Let's do that. Probably red-blue again. A lot of storm spells. I can just go ahead and Ground Rift here. And then Grapeshot. Or I can like Preordain or Ponder to try to go deeper. Ground Rift here is probably okay. Save targets, always yield. My opponent ends up with 3 poison counters there. I think I will now Grapeshot. Targeting Blighted Agent with the first copy here. Go ahead and same target that twice. And one of those can go at my Venerated Ropriest without killing it. Guess I should have just... No, I don't want to swing in combat first, right? If I swing in first, then an Invigorate just gets me. We'll call it a turn there. I don't know. Maybe I should have, like, preordained or pondered and tried to go deeper. Maybe I'm, like, too scared here of my opponent killing me, and I need to just focus on trying to kill my opponent. And, like, if they kill me, they kill me. I have never played against this deck, nor played with this deck, so learning everything on the fly here. Alright, sure. I will take 2-ish damage. Nope, there will be more. Feels like a kicked Vines of the Vastwood. Okay, I am correct. Alright, so I'm going to take 6 back. I'm going to go ahead and hit my opponent here. Put them to 5 infect. I need a little more here in some capacity. I don't think I just want to Grapeshot that for 1. I think I would rather try to high roll a little bit more. Let's try this. I guess I'm just accepting land drop. No shuffle. Fetch. Doesn't matter what land I get as long as it's blue, probably. Grapeshot Blighted Agent. I'll turn the copy into an infect counter. Alright. Doing that is a little awkward if my opponent just dazes me, though. Okay, which they did not. And now I will just be trying to go, like, Preordained, then Brainstorm, then Ground Rift. If I fire you off first, sure. I think I Manamorphose for blue. Force pitching Daze. Acceptable. Then I'll just try to set up for next turn. There is a Ground Rift. Let's bottom that. Top this. I do think I try to attack for the 1. As my opponent has Invigorate, it just kills me. I think I need to push the damage, and then I should basically always just kill next turn. Because Brainstorm into Ground Rift plus an attack is already lethal, even if I don't have another thing afterwards. I need to fade a pump spell this turn. I did not fade a pump spell this turn. I do die. Alright, GG's. Like, I'm learning a decent amount about the deck, and we got a turn 2 kill. No complaints here. Okay, I don't think I like this hand. It essentially has 2 copies of Venerated Rotpriest, but then nothing to do to get me towards something that matters. I believe I keep this hand using the Preordains to find a Venerated Rotpriest. I think throwing back Elvish Spirit Guide, assuming that velocity is not the most important thing here. This probably needs to get Volcanic Island so that it can cast both of these. Alright, and let's go ahead and get that Volk. Cast Preordain. Ponder's going to the bottom. I think I'm actually going to keep this other land. You know what? No, let's not. Like, I, in theory, want to be able to double Preordain. Vault of Whispers. And Duress. Probably a Storm variant that is playing Mox Opal, would be my guess. I believe my opponent is supposed to take Ground Rift here. They disagree. Yep, feels like Storm. So they're going to go ahead and crack a bobble here. And they'll crack a bobble probably after I draw. They don't have to do it immediately. Let's go ahead and preordain before making my land drop. Looking for Venerated Rotpriest. Cards that are not Venerated Rotpriest are going bye-bye. Thank you. Hello. Do I play you now to get attacks in? I probably play you now because of discard more than anything else, actually. Alright, we're good to go. Guess I could theoretically kill next turn, but it's probably not happening. Like, I can get another Rotpriest, and that's real good. My opponent gets to reload with their baubles. And, like, we're going to largely be in a racing scenario in these games. Seems like my opponent is going to attempt to go off now. Oh. Maybe not. I lose the Ground Rift. A little weird if I hit a blank draw, whether or not I'm actually supposed to just cast Manamorphose. Oh, it's Urza Saga. Okay, so this is probably like a Black Saga Storm variant then. I have a video of from maybe a week or so ago, probably closer to 2 weeks by the time this goes live. I don't know what my opponent is sitting there thinking about with this 1 colorless mana floating. Are they thinking about a Pithing Needle? Alright, my opponent has played a Wishclaw Talisman after tanking for a while, and then just opted to pass the turn. A Green Sun. That's cool. I'll probably just pick up a second Venerated Rotpriest here, and not attempt to just kill this turn. My opponent's low-ish on resources, so I think a pass the turn line here is better than just going for a 1 random Manamorphose redraw line. Alright, Mycosynth Gardens, which is particularly good with Lion's Eye Diamond. Well, I think this is a green-blue Manamorphose. I think this is also a green-blue Manamorphose. I just picked up another land. Not the best for me. Probably actually shouldn't have played that. Can't attack into the Urza Saga token. I shouldn't have played that for Stormbase. My opponent didn't make a construct. Okay. I mean, I guess I'm thankful. Yeah, I really regret playing that Rotpriest there. I don't like this forest in this deck. This needs to just be another blue source so that I can cast multiple cantrips and still have appropriate colors. So I think what happens here is my opponent just copies LED with Mycosynth Gardens, and then like cracks 2 LEDs for 6 mana, Wishclaw Talismans, ad nauseums from 19, and wins the game. Oh, they're not even doing that. Okay, there's 6 total mana. My opponent will almost certainly die if I get a chance here, but this is just going to be an ad nauseum from 17. My opponent is now at 3 life. Without mathing it out, it looks lethal. Just like 2 petals, a Cabal Ritual, and then like something in tendrils. There's Lion's Eye Diamond in there as well that can do all sorts of nonsense. Alright, are we seeing copying LED? Oh, no, we're just casting a Cabal Ritual. That's fine. Another Cabal Ritual. A Wishclaw Talisman. They can activate that for literally any, like, ritual effect, and then just kill me with tendrils. And we call that one the Dinner is Ready kill. Well practiced. Okay, so I have a storm of 1, 2, 3, 4, and access to a Rotpriest. I have no ability to sculpt this hand. I think I'm going to go ahead and toss this one back. No? My opponent has informed me that this is going to be a weird one for YouTube. Noted, and I am excited. Yikes, this is my 5. Keep and plan on playing a little slower. Not stoked about this. Alright, it's just an island. Is there any world in which I do not just Green Sun for my card in order to try to use Green Sun to build Storm Count? I don't think so, especially since I can't just, like, brainstorm easily here. I think I just accept that sometimes I have to get another Venerated Rotpriest later. Drop. Go gadget, Venerated Ropriest. Alright, got him. Another land drop. My opponent's passing the turn. I'm gonna attack on in. See if I can get my 1 damage in. Fuck, I can't. You know, I thought about that exact possibility and went, no one is playing Snapcaster Mage anymore. Hey, Levy. Yeah, so I thought about doing... Oh. Pitching Factor Fiction. Okay. Yeah, so I thought about doing Green Sun pre-combat, Lotus Petal, Ground Rift as just, like, my plan. So let's see what we can do with this Brainstorm here. Sure. I'll play that since I just blew a Brainstorm. Alright. I'm not interested in casting a Summoner's Pact right now. I think my plan involves building up a hand that can win in one. Alright. Alright. Let's ponder. Hexproof from blue and black. I'm interested in this Grapeshot. No shuffle. Last turn. So it's 4 total mana to Grapeshot, act for Idiot, play Ground Rift. And with a 5th mana, I can also Veil of Summer, which is probably going to be a plan. I think I am just going to wait another turn and draw that card. There's fine. I don't exactly know what my opponent's air quotes plan is. The Alpine Shackles actually just stop me. I put the trigger on the stack. In response to the Storm trigger, they just take it. Then I'm going to get those poison counters instead. Fuck. That's bad. I need a second idiot. Alright. That feels like Brazen Borrower versus having to deal with Borrower and Shackles at the same time is brutal. But maybe I throw a land in there to make that more even. No. They can have a draw 4. It's fine. But Alkin Shackles is very annoying here. And these are like sorceries, so I can't just like fire them off. Alright. What's the payoff going to be here? Like, is this just going to be Arctide Regents or Arcane Proxy? Spellbelly Whale? I don't know. exactly what I need to be fighting against, but Vidalcan Shackles is oddly annoying. I think I just play this and see if my opponent wants to take it. Because this mana is doing me literally nothing. Okay, cool. That being tapped helps a lot. Bitter's fine. Right, there's enough. Yeah. Take 4. Just gonna hold that land for brainstorm purposes. Eat 4 more damage, go to 9. Can I just, like, fucking grape shot my opponent to death? Probably not, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grape shot 7. Grape shot 8. Pretty close. Alright, maybe land drops are happening. Alright, some movement from the other side. Mystic Sanctuary for Factor Fiction. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Although, honestly, Factor Fiction just seems worse than picking up a Force of Will to me, right? Like, you just need to make sure that you have enough counter spells so that you can get through both the business spell and a Veil. Alright, let's see if I can kill my opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Let's do some fetching. Pick up a drop. Pick up a Misty. A Volk. Cast a Summoner's Pact. Pick up a Rotpriest. Cast a Lotus Petal. This one. Cast a Venerated Rotpriest. Cast a Ground Rift. Save targets, always yield. Hexproof from blue and black is kind of rough here. Now, just change the Snapcaster Mage. So, I unfortunately get some poison counters there. Is mana now a bottleneck? I was kind of expecting my opponent to cast something so that I could Veil and hopefully hit another mana source. I think I'm now just short on Storm. I can Grape Shot them for 5, Grape Shot them for 6. That's not enough. I have exactly 4 mana. Yeah, I can't win. Cast a Veil of Summer now. See if they fire off anything. They fire off a bunch of spells. I guess it's theoretically possible for a Grape Shot to still kill, but tough. Counter spell. Yeah, at this point I'm facing down lethal damage. I don't think I can just beat Falcon Shackles easily. Like, I, in theory, need Force of Vigor to beat that, and I need Defense Grid to beat the counter spells, but I'm not really sure that I can board in 6 cards realistically in this matchup. I'm probably board out literally all of the Spirit Guides safely. This is going to be a game that drags on most of the time. Probably go down like a Preordain, a Grape Shot, or something like that. Not happy about playing against this brew. Like, my opponent's brew is absolutely glacially slow, but it's in a weird place where I can't really beat Vidalcan Shackles. Okay. My opening hand has access to a Rotpriest and a Ground Rift I'll keep. I'm not excited about this hand, though. Like, maybe I need to be mulliganing more aggressively than I am here to, like, try to just turn 2 this deck. It's like, it's just going to get worse for me as this game goes on. This probably kills next turn. I do think I just play one of these out this turn, though. There's a Rotpriest, and I will just go ahead and pass, and then next turn I packed, play Rotpriest, play Petal, play Brainstorm, play Ground Rift. That's an interesting draw. Like fucking Snapcaster Mage to worry about. I also have like Missteps to worry about. Let's, I guess, start here and see if I can get my opponent to tap some mana. Alright, we've got no response. That means Snapcaster Mage can't get in there in combat anymore, which is nice. That is a Force of Negation. Storm is 3. My turn 3, so I can play a land drop. Guess at this point an attack should be safe. Crash in for 1, put my opponent to 19. I packed. I get Priest. I play Priest. Play Ground Rift. I win. Is the plan. Can absolutely go wrong. Let's see if we can make it happen. Here's a Priest. Fetch. Play a Trop. Play a Petal. Play a Priest. I'm dead to that. Or no, I just have to pay for Pact naturally. I can cast Ground Rift for 8 counters, putting my opponent to 9 infect. Just pay for Summoner's Pact and prolong this game. It's so unfortunate. Yeah, I just have to chill here. Maybe I was too impatient in trying to go for it there. It seemed like a good spot. Like, I beat single counterspell. Sure. Alright, I died in my Pact. GG. Real quick, before the next round starts, I just wanted to thank some of my recent patrons like Xander and Alexander Koval for supporting my content. It means a lot. Back to the magic. Alright, I've kept my opening hand here. I will probably do good things eventually with this hand. I'm gonna need stuff that builds Storm. I think since I have a Spirit Guide or a Veil of Summer available, this is an okay play. Will not be great versus Lightning Bolt specifically. But, like, I don't know with 100% certainty what Misty Rainforest indicates. Like, there's a lot of Misty Rainforest decks out there right now. Delta as a follow-up land. Could be Doomsday. Could be Blue-Black Reanimator. Bayou. Definitely in Storm colors here. Wishclaw Talisman. Absolutely. And they're passing the turn. Okay. So we're playing against Ant. I basically can never drop this Veil of Summer for the rest of the game. I can hold it up with Elvish Spirit Guide, so, like, that's an okay turn. Let's get another Rotpriest into play and intend on probably killing next turn. Off of Bulk, maybe. Alright. Good stuff. Pass the turn. Veil protects me from combo for a turn, as well as protects me from a Tendrils. I hope I didn't have lethal just by, like, oh no, I couldn't have done this plus this plus this. Doesn't matter short of that. Never mind. JK. Okay. Spells you control can't be countered this turn. You gain hexproof from blue and black. That's fine. Rain of Filth. Absolutely. My opponent has sacked all their lands and their Lotus Petal. Or a Cabal Ritual, which does have Threshold. This is going to be activate Wishclaw Talisman for ad nauseum. Alright, there it is. And I'll just update you when they stop. Alright, my opponent has gone pretty deep here into what is presumably lethal land. Dark Ritual's fine. I will respond to the duress with a Veil of Summer. My opponent is at 4. They are going to die to Grapeshot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good stuff. I will now let them play out the rest of their turn. I guess they could make some goblins. Goblins probably don't matter though, right? Yeah, I don't think goblins matter when I already have Wishclaw Talisman. Just Wishclaw, get Petal, 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 Ground Rift, Grapeshot. Yeah, like, play your mana. I guess if they have a Burning Wish, it gets more interesting, right? If they can pivot into Burning Wish or Grapeshot to kill me. That would matter. Yeah, I'm fully just waiting for my opponent to discard at this point. So we're good. Alright. For 2 damage. 1, 2, 2. Play Lotus Petal. Play Misty. I can fetch for lulls. Grab a land. Play Manamorphose. Red. Kill him with the Ground Rift. What do you say? Kill him with Ground Rift? I like killing with Ground Rift. Save targets. Always yield. Same targets. Double Rotpriest adds up very quickly. So when this stack clears, my opponent is at 9 poison. And then that will be lethal amounts of poison. Yeah. So the meme is Ant cannot beat Veil of Summer. And while that's not 100% true, it fucking hurts. I think I play Leyline of Sanctity so that I can get hexproof from Tendrils some portion of the time. Force of Vigor is technically playable. Surgical's technically playable. I don't think I'm actually interested in either. I just want to kill my opponent. Like, I want to have Leyline or Veil, and then just eventually combo kill them. I don't really know what to board out. Spirit Guide plus Veil is a nice trick. Anamorphose, I guess, is a little awkward when I'm going to have more blanks to draw into. A nice way to build Storm, though. I didn't think Elvish Spirit Guide plus Veil of Summer was so important. I would just... Oh, this hand's beautiful. Eeperino. Put in Leyline. Opponent didn't auto-concede, so they have outs to that. Yeah, cantrip away. I believe I'm going to get a Tropical Island on my first turn. Maybe not now. I think I'll just play Taiga and Rotpriest then. Yeah, I think my opponent started to cast a discard spell and then realized, like, that's not happening. What do I have to worry about? And Cave Progenitor Mimic, I guess. Or a boarded in empty. Go ahead and take my 1 in combat here. Let's batch here. Valk? Probably Valk. I think I do this. Oh, something got a response there. That's weird. You straight up gonna Veil of Summer to draw a card? Summoner's Pact, Ground Rift. I don't think I need another Rot Priest. Let's see, if I play Ground Rift here, worth 2 counters, puts my opponent to 3. If I attack, that's my opponent at 4. If I Summoner's Pact, play Idiot, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, let's just junk both of those. And I'll just cash in. Or is my opponent just dead next turn? If I Manamorphose, Ground Rift, that probably leads to my opponent dying more often. Let's do that and not trade Ground Rift for 2 this turn. Trade 1 for at least 2, and then 1 for 3, and more if Brainstorm gets involved there. Yeah, I like the look of this. So let's Brainstorm. Sure. Absolutely. I will not be paying for that. Manamorphose. Turn this into red. That's an awkward land drop, but I think that's fine. I'll Ground Rift. Target my opponent. Save targets. Always yield. Always yield. Alright, cool. That puts my opponent to 5. Then I will Ground Rift again. Puts my opponent to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's a match win. A real one this time. Final round, my opponent has mulligan to 5, which definitely means that I want to put an Idiot into play on turn 1. I kind of want to green Sun for 1 on turn 1. Maybe that's too aggressive. Drop? I'll go ahead and just Venerated Rotpriest here. So if we're playing against an opposing combo deck, I don't know that we're going to be faster than it on average. Okay. My opponent might be a Reanimator draw that's very close to going off, but can't quite get there. Go ahead and Manamorphose. Get like a red and a green here. Exile a Spirit Guide. Cast a Green Sun for X is 1. Pick up a Rotpriest. Ground Rift a Rotpriest. Always yield to those. And same targets for these. That picks up a whole bunch of infect. Or poison, technically. That puts my opponent at 6. This will be 7. This is 8, 9. Any one thing that targets one of these will be lethal. Alright, there's something happening. Oh, it's oops all spells. Damn. Oh, but it's a past the turn line. I don't think hexproof from blue and black is going to matter, though. Yeah, I maybe lost this one for trying to get maximum value. I'm going to go ahead and attack with both my creatures, see if my opponent blocks or doesn't block. Alright. Get him to 8. But I think I'm just dead to this. My opponent just does the Thassa's Oracle thing, and Thassa's Oracle doesn't target. I'm going to see if I can Veil of Summer into something interesting, assuming my opponent casts a Cabal Therapy targeting me. It's just immediate Dread return. Alright, Veil of Summer. active negation. Alright, understood. Yeah, I think my opponent's deck is just faster than mine on average. Yeah, I will probably play 3 surgical extractions. That'll, in some ways, speed up my combo kill. Grapeshot's slow here. Green Sun's slow here. Veil's not actually that good. Like, in order for Veil to be good, I need to have, like, both Veil and Surgical at the same time, and then I'm playing defensively. That's not great. Yeah, maybe these Veils aren't great. Like, it's a very niche scenario where Veil super matters. And I, like, reasonably turn 2 with this in any way. If I go Lotus Petal, Green Sun, get Idiot, pass turn. Say I hit an ideal draw. Let's say I hit a Storm spell. On turn 2, I have 2 mana. I Manamorphose, Storm is 1. I Summoner's Pact, Storm is 2. Play Idiot, Storm is 3. Ground Rift, Storm is 4. 9 total. I'm really damn close. What if I don't play my stuff on turn 1? Hold up Veil. I turn 2 that way. Mana's a problem there. Alright, I'm gonna ship this one. Panda's stuff. Not anything that I think is good, though. Go deeper here. Fuck. This hand also does nothing. Like, if I keep a hand that looks like this, that has to set up, I just die to my opponent doing their thing. I guess this one has 3 looks at a surgical extraction off a brainstorm. Gonna be a reluctant keep on 5, I think. So this first turn, I just have to play a land and pass. And we'll see if I'm dead. That's awkward. Guess I just let that resolve. Let them take the brainstorm, and if they can't go off, they can't go off. 4 for a spy. Alright, yeah, I'm dead to that. GG's. So we end up with a 2-3 league. Alright. Overall thoughts on the deck list. This one's not for me. I think the deck's a little misbuilt. Bryant wasn't happy with my build. I'm not happy with my build. I think Forest needs to go. Basically, every mana source in the deck, except, like, I think one Taiga gets a pass, but I think every mana source other than that needs to be able to produce blue mana if I'm going to be trying to play preordains to dig for stuff. I think my primary issue with this deck is, like, combo decks in Legacy right now need to go so fast in order to keep up with everything else in the format because of how high power everything is right now and because of how good the interaction is. But this is a deck that, like, has to have this card, and a lot of your better cards, like, you have to have it in multiples. So what I dislike about this build here is that you're basically all in on one card that you have to have every time, and the things that you do to get redundancy are either very slow and go against you comboing off as quickly as possible, or kind of eat up your mana and make your combo turn harder. So I'm just, like, not happy with this as a strategy. I haven't played the modern version. My understanding is the modern version gets, like, Breach as a backup thing that you can just do, but, like, we don't get to do that in Legacy because we broke the ever-loving fuck out of that card, and, like, it kind of ruined the format. So I don't know what you're supposed to do as a backup here. And I'm, like, kind of unhappy about some of the other cards in the deck. Like, Veil of Summer is, like, very good against some decks and totally dead against others. Ultimately, I feel like this isn't quite here for Legacy. Like, maybe you're supposed to play this in an infect deck, and you just, like, have fair ways of targeting it. Like, maybe Venerated Rotpriest is a fair infect card rather than a combo card in Legacy. But, like, despite the fact that we did get some turn 2 kills, a lot of times I just felt, like, clunky or slower than my opponents. And I got a 2-3 on paper here, but, like, one of my opponents just, like, dropped after beating me in game 1, right? So this didn't feel great. I, like, I feel like I could play 2 more leagues with this deck and get much more proficient with it and much more comfortable. I also didn't feel great about the mulligans. Because, like, if you keep a hand that just has a bunch of this crap, like, you're slow, and while you might be able to find the right stuff, like, I want to be going fast before my opponent can, have their Vidalcan shackles up or, whatever actual, real interaction that they would normally have. Yeah, I don't know. At the same time, like, maybe you do have to slow this deck down and you do have to pair it with some amount of redundancy, not redundancy, some amount of protection. Like maybe you play defense grids if you have to slow down to make it so that when you do actually have your combo turn, you more realistically win. I am not the person to solve this puzzle. I think this isn't quite here yet. I think this is a very interesting combo. Maybe it's not for this format. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.